Hello everybody, I'm Alison from Shamanic Activations Academy and I want to welcome you all to our Lammas ceremony. I'm here with Sean and Hayden.
Hi.
And we're so pleased to have you here with us tonight to celebrate this fire festival and another turning of the wheel. So, you okay guys?
Yes.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you. Very good.
All good.
Excellent. Excellent. So, Sean, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm been with the Shamanic Activations since December. Learning a lot, meeting a lot of good people, and I'm enjoying it and really settling into everything that I'm learning and hopefully passing on to others as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sean. And Hayden?
I'm Hayden. Just excited to be here. Still excited to be on this journey with the Shamanic Activations, Sham Fam. It's an amazing place to be. And yeah, I'm just proud to be here on these events to bring something to the table and just hopefully pass some knowledge on to some people who want to take it on and maybe do some of the exercises again that we got. So.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you've got to offer this evening, because I'm sure, as I know you guys, it's going to be pretty special. So I'm really looking forward to that. So what I'd like to do is just welcome everybody to this wonderful Lammas ceremony. I'm part of the Shamanic Activations Academy. I'm also a student. Like I said, my name's Alison. I'm also a Reiki healer and a confidence coach, intuitive healer. There's lots of different things. And just being part of the Shamanic Academy is just helping me to learn more skills, more ways of doing things more shamanically, and also how to hold space, which is so important. So that's why I'm really excited to do this tonight. So it's giving me the chance to practice my space holding skills as I hold space for all of you lovely people who've joined us here tonight. So to celebrate Lammas, I'm not going to go into too much detail about what is the meaning of this fire festival, because I know Sean's got a really beautiful offering there and he's going to talk to us a lot more about it. But what I would like to do is just open this and just talk a little bit about gratitude, because as we move through this first harvest, it's just the perfect time for us to just think about our gratitude and what we're grateful for in our life. So we're just gonna do a little bit on that. Okay, so as we gather at this time of the first harvest, we pause to honor all that has brought us right to this moment. Just as the grain has been nourished by the earth, warmed by the sun, and watered by the rain, we too have been shaped and supported by many things. Some of those things we recognise easily, and others we will only understand with time. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to invite you all we're just going to settle in to this ceremony. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If not, if you could just soften your gaze. And we're just going to take a few deep, slow breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just letting go of anything that's happened throughout the day. Just landing here. Another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just relaxing into this space. This is your time. And on the next in breath, I just Just want you to really arrive in this space. Just relax into your body. Feel the earth beneath you, supporting you. And I just want you to bring to mind something in your life that has come to fruition since the darker months of the year. It may be something tangible, like a change or an opportunity, maybe a relationship or a piece of work, or something you've created. Or maybe it's an inner harvest, a lesson learned, a boundary strengthened, courage found, or some healing received, or maybe a part of yourself that has been reclaimed. There is no harvest too small to honour. I want you to take a moment just to recognise what has grown within your life. And now I invite you to consider what's helped you nourish this harvest. Who or what has supported you? What personal qualities did you call upon? Where did you keep going, even when you couldn't see the end result? And I invite you to say, either silently or aloud, if you feel called, to offer that gratitude. Thank you, earth that holds me. Thank you to the people who have supported me. Thank you to the experiences that have shaped me. Thank you to the version of me who planted those seeds. Thank you to the version of me who continued to tend them. And thank you for the harvest that is still ripening, even if I cannot see it. Now, I invite you to place your hands over your heart or your solar plexus, or a hand over each. And I want you to breathe in that gratitude. And as you breathe out, allow that gratitude to move through you and return to the earth. As we remember that gratitude is not about pretending that everything has been easy. It's about recognising the life, wisdom and growth that can exist alongside challenge. At Lammas, we honour both the gathering and the giving. We receive the gifts of the harvest, and we consider what we are now able to share. So ask yourself gently, what have I received? What am I grateful for? But also we ask, what might I now offer back to my community, to the earth, or the next stage of my own journey? And just allow whatever arises to be enough. And then just whenever you're ready, just gently open your eyes. So I just wanted to open with gratitude, because it's so important that, you know, we focus on those the important things, what we have in our life in this chaotic world that we live in, this time of doom and gloom. And if we still watch the news and things like that, you know, it's so easy to get pulled back into that negativity. But when we sit and we think about what we've got in our lives, it's just so important to keep us in that positive, higher vibrational state. So, and also thinking about, you know, we're receiving these things, what can we give back to our communities? Yeah, and to the earth. The earth provides us with so much. So we need to think, what can we give back? So thank you for doing that with me. And I think now is a really lovely time to hand over to Sean, who's actually going to talk us through the actual festival of Lammas. So welcome, Sean.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, and whenever you're ready, if you'd like to share your gifts with the community.
Well, when I volunteered for this, obviously I had to do some researching on Lammas, as it was the first time I'd heard of it. So I went onto the internet, found various sites, and just thought I would, from one of the sites itself, I thought I'd just read about unique ways to celebrate Lammas. So just reading this from the website, which is themoonschool.org. Lammas is also known as, forgive my pronunciation, Lugnazad. It's a beautiful time of the year, traditionally when the abundance of the first harvest is celebrated. Usually observed on August the 1st in the Northern Hemisphere. Lammas is a halfway point between the summer solstice and the autumn equinox. So everything from baking bread to building a Lammas altar, there are so many ways to honour this ancient festival in a modern way. You could be a seasoned practitioner, done things like this before, or new to this tradition like myself and many others. So what is Lammas? Lammas is a Gaelic celebration observed on August the 1st. It has rich roots in pagan traditions and was later adapted by Christian practices. It celebrates deeply tied to the agricultural calendar, marking the start of the harvest season and the bounty of the late summer season. If you look around you now, you see all the crops that are grown, lambs that have grown up. I've seen that on my cousin's farm here in Scotland as well. Also known as the Lugnazad, Lammas traces back to ancient Celtic and pagan traditions. As you know, the Celts have been here long time before Saxons were on this island. A slightly more modern term, Lammas, comes from the Old English, again, forgive my pronunciation, Laf Mace, meaning loaf mass, signifying the first loaf made from the new harvest. This explains the corn dolly rituals. I'm sure you've all heard of those corn dollies. The term Lugnazad is older and is named after Lugh, the Celtic Irish craftsman god. It's believed that the first celebration would have involved feasting, games, and sacrifices. Lammas and the first harvest. Lammas's primary importance lies in its agricultural significance. This festival marks the beginning of the harvest season, a pivotal time for agrarian communities. This can be hard to imagine in our modern world, where the same food is available all year round in supermarkets and the internet. But our ancestors here in the Northern Hemisphere, it was hugely significant because they had watched their crops grow, and this was a time to harvest them. If it had been a poor crop, they would have noticed it as the months went on and would be anticipating how much food that they would be able to harvest. A successful harvest ensured enough sustenance for the upcoming winter months and offered a better chance of survival. At Lammas, farmers would cut the first sheaves of grain, symbolising hope and provision. Although these agricultural rituals may hold less meaning today, honouring the harvest at Lammas can help you connect with both the natural world and your ancestors. This brings focus to the fertility and the health of the land and the well-being of your community. Lammas correspondences. So when we celebrate Lammas, you may want to incorporate some of the symbols, colours, flowers, gods and goddesses associated with the festival. Or you may find you instinctively include them. These are some of the correspondences that are there. Symbols, we've already mentioned, the corn dollies, grains, wheat, scythes, what they used to cut the corn with. There's look like a hoe with a long blade on for cutting corn and even long grass. Candles, oak leaves. With animals, we've got lambs, calves, pigs, roosters, crows, and mice. Colours as well. There is gold, which you might associate with the sunflower and the yellows, the green and orange. Gods and goddesses associated with Lammas are Lugh, which we've already mentioned, Demeter, Ceres, Danu, Gaia, you may recognise that name, the name of our home, and Sobek. Food is bread, corn, grains, berries, apples, pears, honey, and wine. Flowers, sunflowers, which I've already mentioned, marigolds, and poppies as well. Crystals are also included, which could be carnelian, citrine, peridot, and yellow topaz. It's also connected to Virgo, zodiac sign, which is Leo and Virgo. Celebration ideas. If you want to celebrate tomorrow as well, there's some ideas. Lammas is one of the 4 cross-quarter fire festivals, and it marks the beginning of the harvest season, as we've already said. Traditional celebrations include baking loaves of bread, decorating homes and building altars, and participating in folk games and dance that pay homage to this season. So taking a closer look at those things, bake a loaf of bread. One of the central traditions is to bake a loaf of bread for Lammas. The name Lammas itself means, from the Old English, as I've said, halaf mes, meaning loaf mass. If you can get it, use freshly harvested and ground grain. As you make your dough, ritualize the act by dedicating your bread to a specific intention, such as health or prosperity. You may also choose to create a ceremonial space around your baking area, incorporating candles and herbs that align with your intention. Shape your loaf into symbolic forms like sheaves of wheat or sun symbols. After baking, place your loaf on a Lammas altar or share in a communal feast to express gratitude. Be sure to offer some to your ancestors. I'd just like to add something there myself about the candles. I specifically use beeswax candles. I don't know much about baking, but I know in real bread, there's only about 3 or 4 ingredients, not the list that we get on our modern loaves of bread that we pick up from the supermarket. Another way to celebrate is craft harvest decorations. Decorating your home and altar with harvest elements is another really lovely tradition, especially if you're getting the kids involved. Use grains, corn husks, seasonal fruits like apples and berries. Incorporate candles with scents of cinnamon, vanilla, or cedarwood to evoke the essence of the season. Use fresh flowers gathered from fields or gardens to bring natural beauty indoors. Arrange items thoughtfully on your altar, mantelpiece, or in a living space to create a sanctuary that celebrates abundance of the harvest. How to create your harvest altar. It serves as a centerpiece of your Lammas decorations and is a meaningful way to connect with the essence of this feast day. Your altar can serve as a focal point for your intentions and your gratitude. To craft your altar, select a space. Pick a quiet corner or a dedicated space in your home, such as a shelf or small table, and cover it with cloth in rich autumn colours like gold, orange, and deep red. Arrange these items intentionally. Once you've done that, bless and awaken your altar. Sing, rattle, or pray over your altar, invoking spiritual allies and even summer gods or goddesses if you feel to. Number 4 on the list of things we can do is make beeswax candles, which I've already mentioned. I buy mine, by the way. I don't make them just yet. Candles from beeswax add both light and fragrance to your home, as well as having a spiritual dimension. If you think about it, beeswax is literally sunlight made solid. When you burn a beeswax candle, it's almost as though you're releasing that sunlight and heat. There are many places to learn how to make beeswax candles, and some of these are websites are Mommypotamus, beeswaxcandle.co.uk, and Bookfast Abbey. Now, I've got no excuse for not learning how to make them myself. The 5th one on our list is craft corn dollies. Crafting corn dollies is a fun and symbolic way to celebrate Lammas. These small figures, traditionally made from the last sheaf of harvested grain, are believed to embody the spirit of the crop and ensure a bountiful harvest for the next year. To make a corn dolly, gather some dried wheat or corn stalks, weave them together into different shapes such as spirals or human figures. Number 6, cooking seasonal dishes. Lammas dishes reflect the early harvest. Think fresh vegetables, herbs, fruits, local produce. Keep it simple and roast vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and courgettes. Make fresh tomato salads with abundance of fresh herbs. We can then move on to feasting with family and friends. Host a Lammas feast and invite friends and family to participate. Ask each guest to bring a dish made from seasonal ingredients to be shared by everyone. Decorate your space with harvest-themed decor and early autumnal colours. Share a gratitude blessing before you eat. Barbecuing corn on the cob. Light the barbecue and be sure to grill corn on the cob, symbolising the first harvest of maize. Also got a way to celebrate is play outdoor games. In older times, Lammas features lively folk games and dance. Not only did these activities build community spirit, but they created an atmosphere of shared celebration and joy at the end of summer. Some popular games include sack races and tug of war, which can be organised at community gatherings or family picnics. Folk dances, often performed in circles, are accompanied by traditional music and songs about the cyclical nature of the seasons. 10th way we can celebrate Lammas is organising community gatherings. So if you're feeling ambitious, organise a small community fair or gathering to mark this cross-quarter festival. You can invite local vendors and farmers selling their fresh produce and artisans showcasing their crafts. Schedule activities like sack races, pie eating contests, craft workshops to provide entertainment for all ages. Moving on, we got preserving foods. So preserving foods is a wonderful way to honour Lammas and deal with the abundance of produce ripening all at the same time. Make jams from berries and or stone fruits like peaches and plums. Make pickles from cucumbers, carrots, cabbage, or even green beans. Dry herbs such as basil, thyme,
Oh, it looks like we've lost Sean. Oh, hello? Sean, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We've got some little bit of buffering, I think.
I did see this catch the screen go blank, and I just stopped and I just checked my internet connection, and it was still on.
Yeah, I thought it might be my internet connection, but I think it is. We can hear you now. Do you want to carry on?
Yep. Okay, so another way we can celebrate Lammas is organise kids' nature hunts. Organising a nature-themed treasure hunt aligns perfectly with Lammas, a festival deeply connected to the earth. Create a list of items that the children in your life can find, such as specific types of leaves, flowers, or interesting rocks. Another way we can celebrate is to write in a gratitude journal. Keeping a gratitude journal is a powerful way to acknowledge and celebrate the blessings in your life. And I'm sure we've got many of those. At some point over Lammas, set aside a quiet moment to write down things you are thankful for. This can include anything from a bountiful harvest to personal achievements. Some of those might be along the lines of, what are you most grateful for in your life right now at this moment? What seeds have you planted in the past year that are now ready to be harvested? What areas in your life could benefit from some pruning or cutting back? What habits, relationships, or beliefs are no longer serving you and need to be let go of? How can you celebrate and honor the abundance in your life at this time? What lessons have you learned in the past year that you can carry forward into the future? In what ways are you connected to the cycles of nature and the changing seasons? How can you bring more balance and harmony into your life as you move into the next season? What are your goals and intentions for the coming months as you move through the season of Lammas towards Samhain? And how can you express gratitude for the abundance in your life and share it with others? 14th on our list is host a reflection circle. Reflection circles offer a communal approach to examining your personal and communal growth. Gather with friends or family members to share your thoughts and insights at this point in the year. This practice encourages mutual support and deeper connections with others. Start the circle by lighting candles or creating a small altar to set a reflective mood. Allow each participant to take their turn speaking about their experiences around a specific subject or prompt. It is important not to offer advice or try to fix anyone's issue, but to be a compassionate witness. Encourage active listening and nurture the space so that everyone feels heard and valued. And the last one, light a community bonfire. Lammas is one of the 4 cross-quarter fire festivals on the Celtic Wheel of the Year, along with Imbolc, Beltane and Samhain. Bonfires are a central element of all of these feast days, and lighting a fire with friends, family and neighbours is a fantastic way to celebrate and nurture the togetherness in your community. So that concludes my introduction to Lammas with some of the history of it, where it started from, with its Celtic roots and ways how we can celebrate it. I hope you found that informative and helpful. Thank you for listening. I'll now hand over back to Alison.
Oh, thank you, Sean. That was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed that. And a beautiful theme that was coming through. I think it's quite common in all of the fire festivals, really, is that community. You know, a lot of it is about sharing with your community, wasn't it? You know, feasting with community and baking the bread and sharing it with your community, as well as on the altar as well. So it was really interesting that, and I think it brought up some memories for me from, and I'd love to hear people's comments in the comment section if they remember. But growing up, I won't say what decade, but growing up, it was, we had those community fairs where people did bring produce and things like that, where we just don't seem to have that anymore, do we?
No.
And it's such a shame.
I did it once, and the last time I did it was in the 80s for a homecoming.
For a what, sorry? It jumped then.
Last time I did anything like that was in the early 80s. I know I don't look old enough. It was for a homecoming.
Right. Amazing. It's just it was just fascinating to listen to you, with the corn dollies as well. When you were listing all the different things that we can do to celebrate, and you were talking about the beeswax candles, and you were saying about you buy them, so you can have a go at making them.
Well, I think it's where I got them from was one of the sites I mentioned there, and you can get the kits like with what's left of your candle once you've used it. You can buy the kits to remake them, like the wicks and the little
fabulous
aluminium pots they go in. So I'll have a look at that a bit more, and it's probably a good hobby to take up, something creative which I keep looking to do, and that's just come to mind now, so I've got no excuse.
There you go. I quite fancy making the little corn dollies, actually. That's I thought I might have a go at doing that. So like yourself, I'm not a great baker, so I think the corn dollies is more me. And I'd love to see in the comments as well if anyone else has been inspired to do any kind of Lammas crafts. It'd be interesting to see. Yep. So, well, thank you so much, Sean. That was really, really good. Really enjoyed listening to that.
Good. I'm glad it came over well.
Oh yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. So next we're going to hear from Hayden, another one of our lovely brothers from the Shamanic Activations Academy, if you're ever interested in learning any more about the Shamanic Activations Academy, there's a fantastic app called the Merlin Wellbeing app. It's we all use it on the course as well. There's so much information on there, free resources, but you can also get an assessment, and that's totally free too. So check it out. It doesn't cost anything, so it's worth, even if you just get a little snippet, it's certainly worth doing. So I invite you to do that. And I now invite Hayden to come and share his lovely gifts with us. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this. Hayden, how are you doing?
Really well, thank you. I'm very informed now as well after Sean. So thank you very much, Sean. That was brilliant. There's a lot of information there. And I like some of those ideas of food. The food is making my stomach go.
Yeah, it's that time of evening.
What am I having for food? So I got a few ideas there, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe go and bake yourself a loaf.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Well, I'm going to hand over to you now, and you can share your wisdom. So thank you. Over to you, Hayden.
Cool. Thank you very much. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the ceremony. I just wanted to say thank you again to Sean. Thank you for that. And thank you to Alison for hosting. She's doing an amazing job. And it's, really excited. So today I actually wanted to start with a simple question. And it's just, when was the last time you walked through a forest and felt worse afterwards? Let's see if anyone wants to put any answers in the comments, because most people smile at that question because everybody knows what I'm talking about. You walk into a woodland carrying stress, noise, thoughts, and then somehow we walk out lighter. So, We never walk out of a forest feeling worse. And for thousands of years, every culture on Earth has believed that forests possess something special. And today, modern science is finally beginning to catch up. And that's what I wanted to explore, is the two worlds, the science and the mystery, because I believe that they're both pointing towards the same truth. So I'd say for about 99% of human history, we've never lived in cities. You know, we lived amongst rivers, amongst mountains, amongst trees. Our nervous system isn't designed for traffic lights, for smartphones, and for these endless notifications. You know, it evolved listening to birds, watching leaves move, feeling the sunlight through the branches. And when we leave nature, our nervous system works harder. And then when we return, it recognizes home. And this explains why after only like 20 minutes in nature, our breathing slows, our heart rate settles, our muscles soften, our mind becomes quieter, and nature isn't an escape from reality anymore. It's actually where our nervous system functions best. So many people actually think trees are passive, standing still, doing nothing. But forests are actually incredibly active. Trees communicate through underground fungal networks all the time. Science sometimes calls it the wood wide web, which is pretty cool. I like that. But trees share nutrients. They warn each other about insects. Older trees support younger trees. And forests behave more like communities than a collection of individual trees. So there's something even more fascinating. Trees release aromatic compounds called phytoncides. And phytoncides are natural chemicals that trees produce to protect themselves from the insects, from fungi and disease. They actually release thousands of these different phytoncides, some of them being terpenes, but that's another talk in itself. We'll definitely get into that. So when we walk through forests, we actually breathe these phytoncides in. And studies have shown that these compounds can increase the activity in the number of our natural killer cells, which usually shorten for NK cells. So our natural killer cells are one of the body's first lines of the immune system, the immune defense system. They patrol the body looking for the viruses and abnormal cells, cancer cells, any infections. They go after all of that. So several studies, particularly from Japan, have found that spending time in forests increase our natural killer cell activity, and the effect actually lasts for days afterwards. So imagine that. Just simply walking through trees may help strengthen part of our immune system. So the forest isn't only feeding our mind, but it's also supporting our body. So that's why we feel good when we come out. So if trees are releasing hundreds of beneficial compounds into the air, then how are we actually receiving them? So the Japanese have a practice called Shinrin-yoku, which translates to forest bathing. Now, despite the name, there's no water involved. What we're doing is we're bathing in the atmosphere of the forest, in the sights, the sounds, the smells, the fresh air, and the phytoncides that are released by the trees. So forest bathing began in Japan in the 1980s as a public health initiative. And since then, researchers have found that spending mindful time in forests help lower stress hormones, reduce blood pressure, improve mood. And in some studies, again, they increase our natural killer cells, which play an important role in our immune system, which we just found out. So what's fascinating is that the forest doesn't ask us to achieve anything. It doesn't ask us of anything. It doesn't ask us to count our steps. It doesn't ask us to check our phone. And it doesn't even ask us to be more productive when we're there. It just simply invites us to be present. And that's it. And that's why so many people leave the woods saying, I feel different. And it's not because the forest changed. That's because for a little while, they stopped resisting life. And the forest became a mirror. And it reminded them what calm feels like. So today I'd like to invite you to try forest bathing, and not only as a task on your to-do list, but an opportunity to remember what it feels like to simply be alive, to walk slowly, breathe through your nose, touch a bark of a tree, listen to the birds, notice the scent of the woodland, and leave the phone in the pocket. And for 20-30 minutes, just let the forest become your therapist, like your gym, your meditation room, and more importantly, your teacher. Because sometimes the greatest healing doesn't come from adding something to our lives. It comes from reconnecting with something that we've always belonged to. There's just that disconnection. So from a psychological point of view, and the forest being a mirror, Carl Jung spent most of his life exploring symbols found across every culture. And he believed nature wasn't just scenery, it was a mirror. And he wrote that the tree is one of the best symbols of the unconscious. He said, think about a tree. Its roots disappear into the darkness. Its branches reach towards the light. So he said, isn't that us? You know, our roots are our past. There are memories, there are fears, there are shadow, and our branches are our hopes, our purpose, our potential. So Jung believed that becoming whole wasn't about becoming perfect. It was just about integrating both that darkness and light. And the forest teaches this beautifully, because dead trees feed new life and decay becomes growth. So nothing's wasted. And our struggles are not signs that we're broken. They're just the compost from which the wisdom grows. So there's so many lessons to learn there. And every ancient culture honored trees. The Celts, the Druids, the Norse, indigenous people across the world, even Buddha attained enlightenment beneath a tree. So like trees have become like symbols of life. They've become symbols of wisdom. They're a connection between earth and the heavens above. And whether you see them as like spiritually or symbolically, it doesn't really matter, because the lesson just remains the same. Like trees stand rooted while remaining flexible. They don't resist every storm. They bend. And because they bend, they survive. Because resilience isn't about becoming stronger, it's about becoming more adaptable. So I also want to invite you to do a little breathwork session when you get to your forest. So as soon as you get there, I'd like you to, before you go for the walk, just find the first tree that catches your eye. And I want you to place both feet on the ground, barefoot if possible, but I know a lot of people don't like that. So just place both feet on the ground. And in that moment, allow everything to soften, allow your whole body to soften. You can close your eyes, but I like to keep them at half gaze because I like to still see what's around. And what we're going to do is just take slow breaths through the nose for a count of in for 4, and then we'll exhale for a count of 6. So it's 4, 6. We're going to do that 3 times. And what that does is it just drops us into a relaxed state. It relaxes our whole system and it tunes us into the forest. So it's just a complete nervous system relax. In for 4, out for 6. So do that 3 times. And you're going to stay there. And you're going to imagine that there's roots growing from your feet right down into the ground. Just imagine it. Picture it in your mind's eye, with your eyes closed or half gazed. And they're going deep into the earth beneath you. And each breath connects you even more to the ground. And then I want you to notice the sounds around. So don't search for any, just receive them. So any birds, any leaves, any wind, even a change in temperature. Then take another slow breath, and you're going to imagine every inhale you're receiving calmness and these phytoncides from the forest. And every exhale, you're giving stress back down into the earth through your roots. And then you're going to place a hand on a tree. You're going to feel its texture. Imagine its age. Feel its stillness, but yet it's swaying. And remember that this tree has survived storms that we know nothing about. And yet it still stands there alive. So we're going to take one final breath with that tree. and we inhale slowly and we exhale completely, and then we're ready to go on the walk. And all that does is this connects you to the forest before you go. And then when you go on your walk, you're being more present, you're aware, you feel more alive, you feel more one with the forest. And then if you can, just continue coherent breathing, which is rhythmic breathing, and just simply enjoy yourself and heal. So Lammas, as we gather here for Lammas, we're celebrating more than just a harvest of grain. We're celebrating a harvest of our own lives. And the Celts understood something that we've largely forgotten, that nature isn't separate from us. You know, we're not separate from it. Its seasons are our seasons. In spring, we plant intentions. In summer, we grow. And at Lammas, we pause and we ask, what has grown within me this year? What strengths have emerged? What relationships have flourished? What old habits am I ready to harvest? And what am I ready to release? And even for myself, it's been a big year. So when we stand among trees, we see this cycle everywhere. So a tree, it doesn't cling on to every leaf. It knows that letting go is part of life, and its roots remain strong while everything else changes. And Carl Jung spoke about becoming whole by embracing every part of ourselves, the light and the shadow. And Lammas reminds us that even our struggles can become part of that harvest. Pain can become wisdom. Loss can become compassion. Challenge can become strength. So as we breathe in the forest today, any day, we're not only receiving the gifts of the trees through the phytoncides and the fresh air, but we're also receiving a reminder to be patient, to stay rooted, and just to keep growing. And then when the time comes, to let go with grace. So I just wanted to leave you with this thought that forests don't heal us because they contain magic, you know, that myth of, you know, they heal us because they remind us of who we are before the world becomes so noisy. And they release the aromatic chemicals and compounds so kindly and so lovingly for us to take. So the next time that you feel overwhelmed, don't go looking for an answer. Go looking for a tree. Hug a tree. Walk slowly. Breathe deeply. Listen carefully. Because sometimes the oldest teachers on earth never say a single word. Awen.
Wow. That was absolutely wonderful, Hayden. And I thought that when I walk in nature, I did it mindfully, but you've just shown me that there's still so much more to learn about trees and the nature. It's just, that would just blew my mind. So thank you very much for that. One of the things that I've always noticed when I've been out walking in nature is the when you see different species and types of trees that are growing on each other. There's no competition, they're just supporting each other. And I always find that so beautiful, that, you know, or when you're seeing moss growing on tree trunks and things like that, and it's like, it's not competition, they're just supporting each other. And that's how we all should be, isn't it? That's how we should be in community. We, you know, it's not competition, it's about supporting each other to grow. And that just came to mind as I was listening to your absolute beautiful talk there.
And that's it. And when they've got enough space and enough nutrients together, they grow as a community, like we just said. Don't they? There's enough abundance of everything around them, and there's enough abundance of light, and they can flourish as a community. And that neural network underneath just gets larger and larger, and then our nervous system connects to that even more, and then they release more of the chemicals, and we breathe more of them in, and it's just that natural cycle that we should be reconnecting back to.
That's just absolutely, honestly, that's just blown me away. It was just so wonderful to hear. Certainly when you were talking about those chemicals, the
phytoncides.
They're just so important, aren't they? We take things for granted, don't we? We breathe it in, but we don't actually know that benefit that we're getting from that, those beautiful trees.
And all those years we said about the tree huggers, huh? What did they say about tree huggers?
Yeah, used to laugh,
they were right the whole
at them.
Time. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They knew.
Absolutely. Little did we know as we've gone on this journey. And just like talking of the journey, if anybody interested, we have got a new intake of our course where you get to have these discussions very, very frequently, certainly in our retreats as well. These are the kind of conversations we have, aren't they, Hayden, when we're on retreat. So, if it's something that you want to explore further or to look more into the shamanic transcendence therapy course, couldn't get my words out then. I think there's some details on the screen, or you can check out the Merlin Aqua, like I said, but I mentioned before, we're also on the Facebook group. Everybody's welcome, and I'm sure Hayden will agree with that, and Sean, that everyone's welcome to come on this journey where we learn from each other. It's just so fascinating, and just what we take for granted
and
with regards to our nature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the other thing that really resonated with me when you were talking was about when trees die and they become compost and they're feeding the younger trees. And I just thought that was so beautiful. It's that circle, isn't it? It's just so, so beautiful. And that just really resonated with me. And a lot of things that's coming through theme-wise throughout. So the gifts that we're sharing today is that community. It's something that we're missing in society today, isn't it?
Yeah, we used to have that living in the trees and living around them. We felt that and sensed it, and we had that ourselves, didn't we? And we still see the evidence today with tribes who still live in and amongst trees, and they have very tight communities and very naturalistic ways.
Yeah, and that support of each other, whichever stage of life they are. It's that support, isn't it? And sharing of the wisdom. Yeah, they're so beautiful. Yeah. Also, thank you so much for that, Hayden. It was wonderful. My heart feels really full after listening to that.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. So I'm sure you agree with me there that so far there's been some fascinating information being shared amongst us. So I'm going to invite Sean back on now, who's going to do a meditation. So I'll let him explain the meditation. Hello again, Sean.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Alison?
I can.
Oh, you just disappeared for a minute there. And it's not my new internet connection.
It wasn't. No, I think that was just our tech gremlins. So I'm going to hand over to you now. So take it away, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Hayden. Listening through to you going through there, I've started picking up bits and pieces like that last year, and in the last recent months, I've actually, when I've seen a tree, I've actually just put my hands on it and sort of said, "How old are you? What things have you seen? Especially if it looks like one that's, quite a big tree. Wondering how many years, the things it's seen go by it, things it's seen happen in the world around it, and the forest bathing one again today. I was just at walking through, stayed at a site in Scotland here just a couple of days ago, an estate, and then I realised there's a footpath we could walk through, and I just went through it. And as I just entered the forest part of it, I heard about the forest bathing, quickly Googled it again, what to do, and I switched my phone off and just did that walk through it, nice and aimlessly, just listening to my senses. So thank you for that. Okay, going through this meditation now. So to celebrate Lammas, I'd like to dedicate this meditation to Gaia, as she is one of the goddesses as well associated with Lammas. I spoke about her earlier today. I would also like to dedicate and give thanks to Fed, the Sham fam, and others who have helped and guided me. But it's from everything in this meditation is just from what I've learned from Fed, the Sham fam, and others, and all I'm doing is passing it on. So I'm not claiming it's as my own. It's just what I've learned and just passing through me to you. So choose a quiet place, ideally outside and barefoot, so that you're in direct contact with Gaia. Once we start, we will set an intention of gratitude for Gaia's bounty, which will include the air we breathe, water, food, plants, animals, and the cycle of life, for your life and the life of those that you know and love. And also thanking her for her feminine healing energy and her unconditional love. So right now, I invite you to sit or lay down at your chosen place. Keep your spine straight, your body relaxed. You may fold your arms and legs, whichever is comfortable for you. Now we shall begin. You may close your eyes as we journey through this meditation together, as it may help you visualize. We'll calm ourselves first by taking several deep breaths in through the nose, hold it, and out through the mouth. Try to do it as a 4-second cycle. Breathe in. And breathe through with your diaphragm. Feel yourself expand on every inhale and feel yourself contract on each exhale. Let your body relax into the moment. As you're breathing, let tension leave your body and your mind. The only thing that matters at this moment is you relaxing and preparing to give thanks to Gaia. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you set your intention, you can do it in your own mind, or you can just speak it quietly. I'll speak mine out aloud so you can hear. Now we shall set our intention. I set the intention of gratitude to Gaia for the bounty of air, water, food, plants, animals, the cycle of life, for my life and the life of those I know and love, and for her feminine healing energy and her unconditional love that she gives to me. Breathe in. Breathe out. Imagine there are roots extending from your feet into the ground, slowly growing deeper and deeper. As they extend further into the ground, They grow thicker and stronger and spread out further. They pass roots of plants, grass, bushes, and trees, touching them, communicating with them. The roots pass deeper into soil, going through rock, but they take the easiest way. If there are cracks, they pass through them, or the roots go around the rocks. They journey further, passing crystals, touching them, receiving energy from them, calm and gentle energy, yet still powerful. In your mind, you can see all the colors of the crystals in your mind: pink, white, black, purple, all of the colors of the rainbow and more. Now the roots grow thicker and stronger from touching the crystals, strengthening your bond to Gaia. You feel your body receive her energy and love. You feel the calm in you grow and negativity leave your body and mind. You start to smile, even though you are thanking Gaia for all she gives. She continues to give you in this moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Release it slowly. Say a quiet, thank you, Gaia. Thank you. The roots are now approaching the very core of Gaia. They seem to slow, as if waiting for permission to enter into the core. Imagine they are approaching a bright pink ball of energy. You can see that it is immense and yet soft and pink. It is gentle and soft, but still very powerful. The roots slowly speed up, as if an unspoken permission was given by Gaia to enter. Take a deep breath in. And slowly let it out and say thank you as you picture the roots slowly enter the core of Gaia. As they enter, give thanks to Gaia for the abundance that she gives every day to you. Let your gratitude come from your heart, down your body, through the roots, until the gratitude leaves the end of the roots and into Gaia. Take several deep breaths and relax deeper into the moment of giving thanks to Gaia now. Keep breathing, use your diaphragm, and let your body and mind relax deeper into the moment. Breathe. Now imagine Gaia's bounty surrounding you. Green forests of towering trees, oak, aspen, birch, willows, countless others you cannot name. All different shades of green, covering hills, mountains, and flatlands. There are open areas of lush, rich green grass. Rivers winding their way through the fertile lands, flowing through the forests, the mountains, the hills, and the open prairies. The rivers are full of life, fish of all kinds swimming through them. the forests, hills and open areas full of life. Deers, cows, wild horses, foxes, wolves, rabbits, mice, badgers, squirrels, every animal you can think of. You see birds flying through the bright sky, crows, magpies, geese, sparrows, hawks, eagles, robins, and more. They sit in the trees singing. You can hear them, and their song calms you. You see bees go from flower to flower, and all kinds of insects, flies, wasps, butterflies, dragonflies amongst the flowers and the bushes. There are apple trees, pear trees, orange trees, blackberry bushes, blueberry bushes, strawberry bushes, fields of cabbages, broccoli, root vegetables, potatoes, onions, turnips, all growing in the fertile soil, acre after acre, and the clean fresh water in the streams, rivers, and waterfalls. Take a slow, deep breath in. And release it with a sigh. Quietly express your gratitude to Gaia for the life-sustaining bounty she provides you each and every day. Give thanks to her for your own life and the supporting community around you. Give thanks to her for the ongoing cycle of life and renewal that sustains all beings. Breathe slowly and deliberately. Place your hands on your heart if you wish and give thanks. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you for everything you give me. Breathe deeply. Now imagine the roots slowly returning to you. They move out of the core of Gaia, back through the layers of crystals, rocks, and earth, past roots of huge ancient trees, past roots of smaller trees, bushes, and grass. They are now slowly returning back into your body and are full of healing energy and love that Gaia still gave to you. Even though you went to show your gratitude on this journey, she still gave. Take a few relaxing breaths through your nose and out of your mouth. Slowly roll your shoulders. Move your fingers and toes. Place your hands on your heart and give thanks one more time to Gaia. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes to the world around you and relax. Thank you for joining me on this journey to give gratitude to Gaia for Lammas Festival. Arwen. Thank you, everybody.
Wow, sure, that was immense. That was so beautiful. It's just, I feel quite emotional after that. That was just so beautiful and so powerful. How do you feel after doing that meditation?
Same as you.
Yeah. And I think part of what it was for me was the fact that we take so many things for granted, don't we? When it comes to Gaia, to what's around us, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the ground we walk on, and the trees, like Hayden was discussing earlier. We just take it all for granted. But when we sit and we think about it, we're blessed. We're blessed to have all these things. And, it's just so beautiful to be able to say thank you to Gaia for everything that's around us. It really was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Like I said, it's what I've learned and tried to pass on.
And that's again when we're talking to Hayden earlier. It's like, and I think we said to yourself as well. It's that community, isn't it? And it's about us sharing our wisdom. We learn things, and it's just really important that on this journey we're learning all the time, and it's so important that we're sharing that wisdom with other people. Because as we grow, we should be encouraging other people to grow and passing on that wisdom. And to me, it's a gift to be able to give and to pass that on.
Yeah, true.
And we learn from you. I had a fabulous conversation with you at one of the retreats about Bruce Lee. And you were telling me loads of things about that, and that was absolutely fascinating. You've got so much wisdom as well, and you so freely give that. It is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, there's more to him than people realise from the surface by the films that he made as well. And he was one interesting thing I read on. If you've watched his films, there's little hints in some of his films, and if you didn't know, he wrote. Remember the 1970s, and I've only seen this on reruns. 1970s series called Kung Fu with David Carradine who played the Shaolin monk. It was actually Bruce Lee that wrote that with himself in mind of playing that role. But at the time, Hollywood was like, oh, no, we can't have, an Asian playing a lead role and all that. And it does sort of teach about the Shaolin Temple. And there's some other things in a couple of his films, especially one line in Enter the Dragon. And then I was reading something on Facebook. I wish I'd sort of kept it, where I can't remember, it was somebody telling the story of somebody who was did readings or whatever, or it was a person themselves. But the spirit of Bruce Lee came to him with his son Brandon, and Bruce Lee said, what was my purpose in this life? And he said, in a past life, you destroyed the Shaolin Temple. And by that, he means literally. In this life, you came to rebuild it. Now, we didn't rebuild it physically, but he rebuilt it by spreading the philosophies and teaching people about Chinese martial arts and Chinese philosophies and his own philosophy. So it sounds to me like he fulfilled his mission why he came back and restored, I don't know the way to say this, like his karma, the generational karma he put right.
It's so interesting, isn't it? And I remember us having a discussion about that, and it was just really fascinating. And I just wanted a nod to you and your wisdom as well. We're always learning. We're all learning, aren't we? Yeah. All the time.
Yeah,
and that's the beauty.
I learned in my career, I know everything I need to know, and that is, I'll never know it all.
100%. How boring would life be if we knew everything?
I could have it boring for a day just to relax.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you again, Sean, for that really beautiful meditation.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing it with us all.
Thank you.
So we're coming towards the end of this wonderful celebration, and I just really want to say a few words and express my gratitude to the wonderful offerings and gifts that our beautiful brothers have brought to this ceremony today. I think a lot of knowledge has been shared, and it's just been so beautiful. So I just wanted to express my gratitude to you guys. And I think just as we start to close down, if you've enjoyed this ceremony, you can go onto the Merlin app, and there's a lot more of the fire festivals that we've done, which you might find interesting and enjoy, or if there's anything that from here, because there's been a lot of information and wisdom shared today, so you may want to go and re-watch this. So there'll be a recording of this on there as well. I'm definitely going to be re-watching it to pick up some of the stuff that I've missed. So go download the free app, and it's all in there for you. You maybe want to join the Sham Fam, come and join us, and one day you could be sharing your gifts and your wisdom with the community. I never thought I would be hosting one, but here I am. So there's a lot to be learned. So I'm gonna close this ceremony with a last closing prayer. So I am just going to invite you to, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes, or if not, just soften your gaze. And I'm just going to read this prayer. So as we come to the end of our gathering, we pause once more in gratitude. We give thanks for the earth beneath our feet, for the soil that holds the seeds, for the rain that nourishes them, and for the sun that calls them towards the light. We give thanks for the harvest already gathered, for the dreams that have taken form, the lessons that have become our wisdom, the healing that has quietly unfolded, and the strength we found when the path was not easy. We honour every seed that we've planted, including those that did not grow in the way that we'd hoped. For every ending has taught us something. For every season has shaped us. Every experience has brought us closer to the truth of who we really are. May we recognise the abundance that does not always announce itself loudly. A hand held in friendship, a moment of courage, a boundary spoken, a spark of hope returning, a forgotten part of ourselves coming home. May we receive our harvest without guilt and celebrate how far we have travelled. May we remember those whose hands, hearts and wisdom helped us along the way. And may we offer something back to the earth, to our communities, to those who walk beside us, and to those who will come after us. As the wheel continues to turn, may we release what is complete. May we gather what is ready. May we tend gently to what is still growing. And may we trust the seeds resting unseen within the darkness, knowing that not everything must bloom today. May we leave this circle grounded in the earth, warmed by the fire of the sun, nourished by gratitude, and open to the abundance that surrounds us. May the blessings of this harvest travel with each of us. May they be shared generously, received gratefully, and carried forward with love. Amen. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. And that kind of brings us towards the end of this ceremony. And I just want to express my gratitude to everyone who's joined us on this this auspicious evening and this beautiful celebration. Lots of gratitude has been expressed today, and it just warms my heart. And like I said earlier, I want to express my gratitude to these two wonderful brothers who've so generously shared their wisdom and their gifts with us all today. So thank you, my dear brothers.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pleasure.
thank you. So check out the website, check out the Facebook if you want to join us again. And once again, thank you so much for joining us today. And I really do hope that you've enjoyed it and that you can take something with you as you go on your journey. Owen.
Owen.
Owen. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.